Alright, looks like our draft has started here. And let's just bring this little card thing out here. Hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. Oops.
You gotta do that, yeah.
Alright. Let us take a look at what we've got. Our rare is Oozeflux. I'm not going to first pick that. We have Gorkland Rampager, Experiment 1, Wojak Halberdiers, Ember Beast, Mugging, Disciple. Okay, the unfortunate thing is I want to take the Gorkland Rampager. The unfortunate aspect of that is there's a lot of good red picks in here. I think I'm still going to end up taking the Rampager just because the card is so phenomenal and strong. But like I said, we're passing Mugging, we're passing Ember Beast, Wojak Halberdier, Experiment 1, Disciple, a lot of good Gruul cards. I think I'm just going to have to live with that. I wish I wasn't passing that signal, but none of the other cards in this pack are nearly on power level with it. The closest one would be Halberdiers because it would move me into Boros, so I'd feel more comfortable taking white cards. But I think I'm just comfortable enough taking the best card in Rampager, hoping we can get fed enough for it. But if not, we'll go into a different color scheme. Okay, pack 2. Molten Primordial, Crown Ceratok, Simic Charm, Wojak Halberdiers, and Scorchwalker. Could just take the other good 4-drop in Crown Ceratok. It's still on color with the Gorkland Rampager. Alternatively, we can take the Simic Charm, possibly move into a Simic Gruul build. What are you feeling? Are you feeling comfortable picking?
I like the Ceratok more.
The Ceratok keeps us in line with Rampager and is actually just
2 4-drops to trample.
They're probably maybe my 2 favorite 4-drops from this.
They're both really strong
from this set. I think I can agree with that. Simic Charm is quite strong, and it's going to be difficult to. It's definitely passing a Simic signal, but I think you're right. I think Crown Ceratok is certainly good enough to want to pick there. Okay, now we have Zamek Guildmage, Slaughterhorn, Burst of Strength. I guess we could take the Slaughterhorn, but this might be a sign that we're Simic's
supposed
open.
To be going into Simic, yeah.
It could be.
I kind of like Zamek Guildmage just because of Crown Ceratok too.
And it's just so good in general. And well. You know how sick we are about Simic and Zamek Guildmage in particular. Both abilities are so relevant, well costed. I love Zamek Guildmage. So I think we're going to take it here. I mean, you should usually take that as a sign that Simic is being passed.
We got past the Simic Charm that we didn't take. Shamble Shark.
Now we have Shamble Shark. Is also Verdant Haven, Greenside Watcher, Gridlock, Hands of Binding. A lot of other good cards in the pack, but I have to agree with Jake. We're certainly taking the Shamble Shark there.
Croconura? Oh my god.
All right, we're getting the Simic picks, it looks like. There's also Death Cult Rogue, Scar Goliath. So it's Croconurus, Death Cult Rogue, Scar Goliath, Leyline Phantom, Mark for Death, Gruul Guildgate. Some relevant spells. We're taking the Croconura pretty happily. Very phenomenal spell. Alright, next one we have Burst of Strength, Ruination Worm, Armored Transport, Duskman of Guildmage. I think we take the Burst. Yeah, Burst feels pretty good.
Good with our Ceratok too.
Okay.
Sapphire Drake, Frilled Oculus.
We have Sapphire Drake, Frilled Oculus, Simic Guildgate. Sapphire Drake is very bomby.
Yeah, it is.
Frilled Oculus is an excellent 2-drop, and I want to at least get 1. Do I value 2-drops more than... I think the bomminess of Sapphire Drake actually trumps Oculus. Because especially if we've already got...
Adaptive.
We have 2 evolved creatures already. We have a Burst of Strength to give another creature flying. I think Sapphire Drake
We have both the creatures that have +1/+1 counter dependencies. We still have Zamek Guildmage too, so...
Yep.
I think Sapphire Drake is good.
Yep, synergizes already with what we've got. I like it.
Adaptive Snapjaw?
Foil Undercity Plague in here. Interesting. That's cool. Skinbrand Goblin also in here, as well as Boros Guildgate, Syndicate Enforcer. But Snapjaw is in here. It evolves. It works so well with Sapphire Drake. I kind of wanted the Goblin if we're going to make the Rampager work, but I think you're right. It just makes sense to take the Snapjaw here. It works too well with the Sapphire Drake. We tabled the Oozeflux. I think we can actually take it, because we could get Raptors in the next couple packs, and then we have... Are you not interested in that?
Well, okay.
It's actually fine because we have
Oozeflux works really well with Zamek Guildmage too.
Oh yeah.
If you put 1 trigger out and you have 1 counter on your Croconura, you can take it off
and then re-evolve it when you take 2.
Put a 2/2 ooze out so you would re-evolve it because they'd come out with that +1
That's
+1
cool. No,
counter.
that's really good.
So yeah, maybe we should pick it up.
There's enough upside to that. I think we can try
Clinging
and
in
use it.
enemies actually
All right.
works if we need to go that strategy.
All right, we got another burst.
That's great.
So, Verdant Haven, pretty happily
That's
taking
awesome.
that.
Wow.
Wildwood Rebirth also playable. So, second to last pick.
Everybody has understood how terrible that card is.
I really don't think it's terrible. It's just not very good. That's the problem.
I think that its abilities are so irrelevant that it doesn't matter.
I don't feel comfortable calling it terrible. It is a bear at worst.
It's 2 mana.
2/2?
Exclusively
Color.
2 color. Yeah.
Hey, but give it some credit. It's a late game mana sink.
It is. It's something to do, but it's not efficient. Homing Lightning.
All right, Sepulchral Primordial in this pack. Additionally, Vyashno, Shanktail, Guardian of the Gateless, Homing Lightning, Balustrade Spy, Kingpin's Pet, Edict, Scabland Charger, Verdant Haven, Sage's Road Denizen. A lot of good off-color stuff. We could still try and make the Homing Lightning work and go a little more rogue. I really want to play Gorkland Rampager.
And then pick up the Shanktail. At least
I'd rather play a Lightning than Shanktail. I mean, if we're going to pick either of those, then I'd rather just pick like a Sage's Road Denizen, which is a 3-drop that's on color.
I don't like the Homing Lightning for us. We're way too into Simic. Gorkland I can get behind, but...
If we got some more mana fixing, I'd be okay with it. We have the Verdant Haven. I don't mind going a bigger mix. I mean, Sage's Row is good. It's the second best Denizen.
I like it.
Blocks well, gets us to late game.
I'm saying don't take the Homing Lightning.
Or the Charger. What do you like more? Alright, Charger or Denizen? I think I like Denizen's cooler because it's cheaper.
Yeah, we already have plenty of 4-drops.
Okay, follow-up pick. We've got Snapjaw, Gorephobia, Zertos Swine. I'm not opposed to a Gorephobia here. I like it quite a bit.
I like it.
Gets us to our later game. And actually, once you get a Sapphire Drake online, a Gorephobia is sick. But Simic wants to build. Simic needs time to evolve and get their guys huge. So I like the idea of a Gorephobia.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, we've got Ivy Lane Denizen, Warmine Infantry. I think we just take the Ivy Lane here. I like Ivy Lane quite a bit. We already have quite a few green creatures. Let's hide Clinging Anemones. I don't think I want to play it.
We want +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, for Oozeflux too.
Yeah.
And just everything.
Everything.
So Ivy Lane fits in exactly with what we're trying to do.
Pit fight.
All right, there's Gruul Kirun, but Jake correctly called it. We're slamming a pit fight. Pit fight's insane.
You can't not get pit fight. We have a croc.
You can't be more well geared for what we have. Sage's Row Denizen, Crown Ceratok, Gorkland Rampager, Ivy Lane Denizen. Everything we have is excellent. This is the pit fight deck. Whenever Jake and I get 3 pit fights too, we just end up breaking the game.
I love Rust Scarab.
Alright, we got Rust Scarab in the same pack as Adaptive Snapjaw. Though Snapjaw has better synergies with what we have, so... I think we want the efficiency of the Rust Scarab probably. I think I'm more with that.
Okay.
Because there's good auras in this set.
I really like Rust Scarab.
And Rust Scarab you see less than Snapjaw as well. Alright, we've got another Denizen. Yeah, there's also a foil Glaring Spotlight in this pack, which is really, really good in our deck. Because we don't have much evasion at all, and our creatures are going to get fat fast. But unfortunately, it's in the same pack as Ivy Lane Denizen, which is just more important for what we're trying to do. Just way too many synergies with what we've got. Works in multiples so well. Well, we got another Simic. Now we have another choice, another Glaring Spotlight, but it's in the same pack as the Simic Flux Mage.
Either one is fine.
Yeah, I think once again I'm going to take the creature. I like the Flux Mage more.
Actually, that's really good in our deck because we have the
with the Ivy Lane. It's just too good. Getting bigger. All right, we can take a Keymaster Rogue here. It works well for bouncing a creature that you want to re-evolve stuff with. There's really not much else in here for us. Illusionist Bracer, but
we only have 2 creatures that can actually do anything with it.
So not worth it. All right, Sepulchral Primordial Wield. Balustrade Spy is probably a little more annoying, so I think we'll just take that out. Active Treason can be annoying too, but... Alright, we tabled a Snapjaw. There's also Undercity Informer in this pack, which really shouldn't wheel. It's a very strong card. I think the black player's going to be happy with that. We'll take a second Snapjaw. I don't think we need a second Rogue.
Oh, we already had one.
Don't need... I guess we could take a Bioshift. It's possible. Could be useful. Probably not playing it.
Phantom.
Yep, taking the Phantom for sure. Probably not playing that either.
We don't need
Need
to
it.
play all of the stuff we have more for
Take
sure.
away. We can actually take Sky Games, believe it or not. None of our guys evade. So pack two, we already have like pretty much a deck. We already know what we're doing. We look like we're pretty much straight Simic. Possibly splashing with a Rampager. It may be unnecessary at this point, but we have enough late game where I want to play the Verdant Haven 100%. So if I'm playing the Verdant Haven, maybe I'm just playing Rampager too. We have enough stuff that it evolves. It's got to be the most relevant Blood Rush creature in the game.
Cheap enough and a big enough.
Ogre Slumlord pack 3 is our rare. I wish we could take that, but
Shambles Shark.
On the good note, we get to take a Shambles Shark.
Look at this Orzhov Dimir pack. Though.
Yeah, there's Balustrade Spies, Syndic of Ties, Orzhov Keyrune, Gutter Skulk, Death's Approach, Night Watch. A lot of Ogre Slumlords are rare. This is probably the first time in my life I've passed an Ogre Slumlord, but we're gonna take the Shambles Shark pretty happily. All right, now we have Ground Assault, triple. We could go triple Denizen. There's also Simic Flux Mage, Scatplan Charger.
Ground Assault, actually.
We could do the Ground Assault. I'm not opposed to that. Getting a triple Denizen, I would probably be willing to cut the Rampager at that point and maybe even the Rogue.
I would cut the Rogue first. Actually.
Okay. I do like Ground Assault. It's probably my favorite removal spell. It's fine on the splash. We have the Verdant Haven. We have 15 creatures already. Denizen and multiples is sick, but really the thing that keeps you alive with Denizen is having removal backup, so you can just keep playing stuff. Yeah. And there's 2 glaring spotlights too. Something to keep in mind. That's tough. Ground Assault versus triple Denizen. It's the best Denizen. We've talked about this.
Take it.
I want to. I really do. I think I am. I think it's just insane enough in our deck. All right, Rage Beast. Rule Rage Beast, but there's also Disciple.
Mind Eye Drake also.
And Mind Eye Drake, yep. Mind Eye Drake is another 5-drop.
Disciple's actually probably the best.
Disciple's a 2-drop. We're a little bit short on 2-drops.
All our other 5-drop, or all of our other big creatures fly, potentially. Just in general.
Mind Eye Drake is very good, but we have enough 4 and 5, 6 kind of going on right now. Let's fill out our lower end a little bit. All right, we got that Frilled Oculus. Pretty happy about that. It's also Scarred Guildmage.
2 mana.
But we may not even be playing the Rampager. I'm not. I might be. I'm pretty sure I am. I'm just not 100%. But we're gonna take Frilled Oculus here pretty happily. It's a good 2-drop. All right, now we have.
One?
Yeah. Wow. Experiment 1, also in the pack, Incursion Specialist and Greenside Watcher. Both of which are fairly irrelevant in our deck, so pretty happily take the Experiment 1.
Bio-Visionary.
We have Bio-Visionary, Disciple, Metropolis, Sprite, Warmind Infantry, Keymaster Rogue. Jake's right, we take the Sprite. Awesome, alongside our Denizens that should make it fat. Another Frilled Oculus, which we'll happily take. In the same pack as nothing else, really. Active Treason. Yeah. Alright, another Verdant Haven, also another Sage's Road Denizen. We have 21 creatures. I think we might want the second Haven.
Yeah, but aren't we going to cut some? Maybe the Haven's okay, but we don't have hardly any at 3 anyway.
Alright, we can take the... Well, we probably don't need double Haven, I guess that you're right. We'll take the second Denizen. The second blue Denizen. I guess we'll take a Riot Gear. Not really necessary in here. Take a Scatplan Charger. Take a Naturalize for the sideboard. So we have more than enough playables. We're gonna have a good deck. We just don't know what exactly is our deck. Wow, another Denizen. All right, we're straight Simic at this point.
Can't believe it.
This is I've never had 6 Denizens before in my life. Yeah, I've never had 6 Denizens. That's crazy. Alright, I got a Razor Tip Whip. Gonna need that. This deck could really use one of those. So yeah, there's just tons of good, strong cards in this deck. Probably not even playing the Verdant Haven, you're right. We can just start hiding some stuff. I don't think we're doing Rampager anymore. We don't even need the red. So our first pick was irrelevant. Do we still want the Ooze Flux? Is this an Ooze Flux deck?
Maybe not.
Possibly not. I don't know if we're gonna have space for it.
Well, we didn't get the cloud or the Raptors, which are the ones that make the combo work even.
Well, let's take a look at what we do have that's good. So, plenty of denizens, as we've discussed. Got the Snapjaws and the Rust Scarabs. The late game is pretty good. Probably don't need the Rogue, probably don't need the Phantom, Drake. Alright, this is 22 right here. I'm sure I'm missing something. Pit Fight.
And all of our dual color stuff.
Shamble Sharks have to go in. Zamek Guildmage has to go in. And I think that's it. Okay. So now we have 26. I think we can cut a Charger probably. Cut the late curve a little bit more. 21 creatures currently. Maybe we don't need the Disciple, so we're not likely to get value off it. It is a 2-drop that evolves the Shamble Sharks though, so I think it's actually a little bit too important and this. So we kind of need it. So where do we cut? Could cut a Burst of Strength. We top out at 6, but it's only 1 spell, and our curve actually looks lower than... We do have a Mana Sink. I guess the Infinite Mana Sink in Zamek Guildmage, but do we have any other Mana Sink really? This a little bit. The Simic Flux Mage. Agoraphobia, I guess, is kind of one. Okay, I guess we have enough. Or I could see that being justified. 21 creatures is enormous. What do we want to cut? Do we want to cut Agoraphobia for maybe move it to sideboard?
You want to play 21 creatures?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
We're a little bit short on removal, but we have the bursts. We look like a deck that can race really well. I think we probably run 17 lands.
You can cut a burst.
So we could do one. We could run it like, I'm not opposed to running it like this. 21 creatures. Our tricks are just a burst, hit, fight. That's it. That's pretty low, I guess. Maybe 2 burst, hit, fight would make a little more sense. Just because we only have 3 removal spells. This.
Take out the Disciple. Everything else at 2 already pumps it.
It's like the weakest. It's probably the weakest creature in the deck.
Frilled Oculus is.
How many creatures do we have that work with Denizen now, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's more than enough. All right. All right. Yeah, I like it like this. What do you think? Looks pretty solid. Pit Fight looks amazing in this deck. Triple that Denizen, triple this Denizen. Our guys are huge. I really like the way this deck looks. Our 2 and 3 drops and our late game plan. Really, because we're so short on removal, that is definitely the biggest shortcoming of this deck. It's only going to be a shortcoming, though, if they get a really solid jump on us. Like, I could see possibly Orzhov being unable to keep up with them if we flub a little bit on draws. But overall, this looks really good. So I'll read it out for our audio listeners. Actually, I should add the lands first, too. We look like we're mostly green, but we're pretty close overall. We didn't get any gates, correct, Jake? No gates. Okay. So we could do 9/8 green. I guess that looks fine. We're more green than blue, so
we'll nothing requires double either, so
not a super color intensive deck. All right, so we are currently 2 bursts of strength, 1 experiment 1. A Pit Fight, 2 Frilled Oculus, Metropolis Sprite, 2 Shamble Sharks, a Zamek Guildmage, Krakenura, 3 Sage's Row Denizen, 1 Simic Flux Mage, 3 Ivy Lane Denizen, Crown Ceratok, 2 Adaptive Snapjaw, Rust Scarab, and Sapphire Drake. One more thing to note, I am going to be posting the drafting portion of this, so I'll be recording that very shortly. But also, something to note specifically about this deck. Adaptive Snapjaw gets pumped from all 6 of our denizens, so that's kind of cool. But this is a great deck. Go to SeemsGoodMagic.com, check out our eBay store, purchase some singles. You directly support me, and I really appreciate you doing that if you do. So thanks for purchasing from my store. If you haven't already, check out what we've got. Yeah, at SeemsGoodMagic. Follow us on Twitter. Email me at mortarpod@seemsgoodmagic.com. So for Jake, I'm Alex Stevenson. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We'll have some more spoilers for you next week. See you guys later.